Coming up next, right here under the hot seat, of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys. And with some of the topics that I will be talking about and I do have in store for you guys. With Monday Night Raw permanently going for 3 hours, do we think this is a good move? Giving our thoughts and opinions about that. Also with TNA going live for the rest of the summer. And as well with TNA signing Brooke Hogan. Do we think she's going to have some sort of impact with the knockouts or no impact at all with the knockouts and should go back to singing? And giving our thoughts and opinions on how we feel about those topics. All that and more right here on In the Hot Seat.
You are watching the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE Impact Wrestling.
ROH Wrestling.
Pro wrestling at its finest on In the Hot Seat with your host, Fort Miners Project.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys. And as well, I'm being joined by my guest at this time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Emo Kick out here with a bunch of X's and O's.
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you here back on the show.
Glad to be back.
Alright, and I'm going to jump things here to the first topic, and with that being said, with Monday Night Raw being permanently 3 hours, what can you expect out of the 3 hour time slot? Are you looking forward for it, and what are your thoughts on that?
I think as far as good things, this could be a good and a bad thing. It'll be good because you have another hour of entertainment. For those who really like the WWE, they have more time to watch it, but it can also be really bad because in the past they've done the occasional 3 hour specials, which got people more excited and they wanted to tune in more. But now, they're going to have it every single week, so it won't be as entertaining. And as far as, what they'll do on it, I don't think they will change too much, but I can probably expect, to see more of the younger superstars come in, seeing as, there's not a whole lot of the major superstars, there's, only a few. You'll see more people in there, more interesting matches, and maybe a few better promos.
Yeah. In the beginning, I did mark out for this, and I had some discussion with a few of my friends, and we talked about this previously on the Over the Limit pay-per-view free show, and I still am looking forward for this. Now, I know not every single Raw is going to be great, especially now it's going to be permanently for 3 hours, so I want to see where this goes. Maybe we'll get some longer Divas matches, and maybe we'll get other storylines coming in, especially having more championship title shots too as well, so they can do a number of things going into this, and hopefully they will do something like that. So I think as of right now, this is going to be a good move for them, and hopefully it surprises and it ended up being a good thing. So I cannot wait for it. And
you can possibly get more viewers.
Yeah, hopefully it will, and maybe we'll see less pay-per-views now, since we're pretty much going to be getting free pay-per-view, if you will, now that Raw is going to be 3 hours. So a lot of different things could come into play with this, so I'm really excited on how exactly this is going to come into play.
What confuses me is, though, because, we originally have the 3 hours, and when it comes to the draft, are we just going to have the whole 3 hours, or are they just going to have another hour special on it?
I don't think it's going to be another hour. I don't think they're going to really do that. It wouldn't make sense, because then it would be 4 hours, so I think it's still going to be 3 hours anyway. And as far as the draft goes, I don't really see the sense of why they would have the draft anyway. Since the superstars show up on both brands, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't like how they have that at all.
Yeah, so, I'm not really too sure what the plans are. I think they are still going with that, but, if they are, then hey, that's fine by them, but that's
the superstars end up moving anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So it doesn't really make sense anyway. Alright, so going into the next thing, and what happened on the same day, and that's with TNA going live on Thursday nights and also changing their time slot to 8 o'clock. How do you feel about that? Does that get you more interested in TNA, and do you think this will help them out?
I think it could help them out, because let's face it, TNA is kind of going downhill. With them going live, it could very well help their views and boost their chances of surviving, because a while back ago, I heard that they were going to be closing TNA, so This could help them a lot. It's just things like that.
Yeah, at least they were smart enough this time to go live on Thursdays and not go head-to-head with Raw. At least they were smart enough not to do that again, so hopefully they don't fuck up with this, and this will maybe help them out a little bit, especially with the spoilers and everything, since it is pretty annoying just hearing the spoilers right before the actual show airs on Thursday. So I think this could be a good move, and I will be tuning in, and I haven't really been catching far too much in depth on TNA, so I think this would be an interesting move, and if they messed up, I don't know if they can even go back from this and go live ever again, so maybe this would do good for them. To
be honest, like, I used to watch TNA all the time, but here lately, I haven't been watching a lot of it because mainly, it's just the same old stuff. TNA has gotten boring, but I'm thinking I may tune in more since it is going live.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about having things live, you never know what's going to be happening or what kind of stuff that they have in store and planned for the rest of the night. So I think it could be good for them. I think that's another good move, and hopefully
and better for the viewers also.
Yes, same thing for that too. Alright, getting into the next topic here, and the project that TNA is also doing, and if you think about it, it is kind of like a tough enough version for them for TNA, and that is TNA Gut Check. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good move for them to focus on that, or do you think it wouldn't work? And how do you feel about that?
Honestly, this is the very first time I've heard of this. Like, I wasn't even aware of it, but I think this could be good. That way you'll see brand new faces on TNA, because TNA is a lot like WWE in a way of they show the same superstars and stuff every week. So you could see new faces, and it just brings a whole lot of new talent to TNA.
Yeah, to me, I am on the fence of it when it comes to that, and it just came out of nowhere for me, and it hasn't really been around for that long, so I don't really know what to think about TNA Gut Check as of right now. I guess it's a pretty cool idea, but they should really look into their roster and everything, since they have a crapload of people on there. So they should have just paid attention to them first, since they don't really use too many of the people on their main roster. Now they want to do this whole
thing. This is another one of those shows, I think they should actually, change it up a bit, because it's boring.
Yeah, so I don't really know how long this is going to be going on for, so, I might give it a chance. As of right now, I don't really care for it, so that's how I feel about that. And with the last and final topic that I do have here, and that's with Brooke Hogan signing with TNA and basically having the same position as with Madison Rayne and being the VIP of the Knockouts. And how do you feel about that? Do you think she will bring something to the table, or do you think she can change things up with the Knockouts, or do you think she can just still go with singing and not even be involved with wrestling? And how do you feel about that?
I actually think, not a lot of people would probably agree with me, but I actually do think this is a good move, because the Knockouts, they do need someone, to kind of run them, I guess, not exactly a male figure, and Madison Rayne did a horrible job.
Yeah, she did.
So, with Brooke Hogan, despite the fact that she is Hulk Hogan's daughter, I think she will do an amazing job with that.
Yeah, to me, I'm in the middle with this too, as well, with Brooke Hogan being in TNA. She hasn't really done anything for the wrestling business, as we talked about that on the pre-show, so I am going to give this a chance, and she could possibly bring something to the Knockouts, and, I think they should have someone else be like a VIP or something like that, or just have the general manager do something with the Knockouts, instead of having, like, someone like a Brooke Hogan or Madison Rayne be in charge of the Knockouts. I think someone else should be in charge of them, so I am going to give this a chance. She might do something. If not, she could go back to singing, which I don't really mind her singing and everything. I think it's pretty decent and everything, and I have watched the show before. Go ahead.
It just kind of depends. I mean, even though, I'm looking forward to this, I'm also kind of, being cautionary, I'm
Yeah, I don't
watching to
blame
see if this works out.
Yeah.
I mean, and it could not, and it may not work out. So.
Yeah, and pretty much, I will give it a chance to see how that goes, but that's how I pretty much feel about that, and that's exactly what I had planned for the rest of the show, and with all the topics that I do had in store for this week's episode from the hot seat, and I appreciate you coming back in. Is there any shout-outs that you would like to give before we end this off?
I actually have a couple shout-outs here.
Yeah, go ahead.
One shout-out goes to a guy named Stab Phoenix.
Alright, fantastic.
He's one of my wrestling buddies here in the YouTube community. And he does great reviews, and everyone should check him out.
Alright, and I will leave links down below for that channel and as well with your channel and your Twitter and my Twitter, which you guys can follow me at DavidRivera1889 for the latest, and as well go check out the Wrestling for Wings channel. Comment on what we talked about, leave your thoughts and feedback right down below in the comment box. Feel free to leave a like, and as well, even if you want to, leave a video response for the tail end. That about does it for this week's episode from the hot seat. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.